What's up, everyone? I'm Kimmi Chex here, joined with my fantasy friends. We have Marcas Grant, Adam Rank, Michael Fabiano, and my favorite NFL researcher, Michael Florio. We are doing a 2020 fantasy mock draft because it's time to get the fantasy football friends ready. It's a 10-team PPR league. The draft order has been completely randomized. We're each picking for 2 teams. Marcas Grant, you got all the luck because you are on the clock with the first pick.
Ooh. All right, so I'm on the clock. Let's just dispense with the drama. We're going Christian McCaffrey at the 1.01.
Shocker, shocker. All right, Florio, you're up next.
Yeah, this is another shocking pick. It was either going to be Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley for me in the first 2, so Marcus made my decision for me.
All right, Fabs, third. What we doing?
Elliott. Easy
All right,
peasy.
I'm going to do Michael Thomas, 4th pick. New Orleans Saints, another one of my teams. All right, rank number 5.
I'm going to take the best available.
That's honestly what I was going to do. If,
Chris Godwin. Rank with Chris Godwin on the 5th
Yeah, that's what I was going to do for my second team. Had Rank not done it, but he went on and made the move. I'm going to take Alvin Kamara here. I think he will bounce back. I think the touchdown upside will help him this year.
Marcus keeps deciding for me because I think you need running backs early, and I was looking at Kamara or Dalvin Cook, and with Kamara going off the board there, I'll take Dalvin Cook at 7. I did not think he would fall this far.
All right, so Marcus goes with Dalvin, or Florio goes with Dalvin. Marcus goes with Kamara, so the next best running back on the board, Derrick Henry. Sign me up. I'm in.
I want to do something crazy because Rank was really fired up about Clyde and my Kansas City Chiefs, so I think I'm going to
Don't.
You
don't. You don't have to do that yet.
Why not?
Are you going YOLO? All right, go YOLO.
I want to do YOLO. One, I'll be like, okay, I want to be legit and beat all of you schmucks. But then this one, I want to do YOLO.
All right, so I've got back-to-back
impressive.
picks, and this is really a spot where I like to draft because it gives you a lot of flex. I feel like you get a lot of flexibility here. So number 1, I'm going to take Devontae Adams because the Green Bay Packers are like, yeah, you're going to get all the targets, so it doesn't matter. We're not going to draft a wide receiver. By the way, for all the Packer fans, when they drafted Jordan Love, they're like, oh, dude, like, don't worry. We'll get a pick later in the second or third day. Guess what? You didn't. So congratulations, Devontae Adams, on your 800 targets this year. And then I'm going to take George Kittle in this spot because I like having one of the top 3 tight ends each and every week outside of his bye week. That George Kittle is going to be there crushing it for you. That is a luxury that I enjoy having. So give me George Kittle right there.
Again, this is a snake draft, so it's coming back to my second team. And I'm going to do DeAndre Hopkins.
This is Fab's team 2. I took Derrick Henry with my first pick. I'm taking Austin Eckler. Giddy up. Love it. Eckler, who he's looking forward to getting a lot of touches and targets in this offense. And they drafted Joshua Kelly. I don't think he's a big threat to Eckler. So as a number 2 running back, all I could say is giddy up. Love it.
Florio, team 2.
Yeah, I love the Eckler pick there. I was considering him here as well. I started this draft off with Dalvin Cook, so I'll just go, another safe player. I'll take Julio Jones, and the fact that, he lost Hooper and Sanu. I'm hoping he sees even more work this year than he normally does.
I went Alvin Kamara for my second team with the very first pick. I know it's not necessarily the fashionable thing to go running back nowadays, but
Sure it is.
All right. Fine, it is. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna go Aaron Jones here, and I know the touchdown regression is coming, but look, this is an offense that's pretty much going to be Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones for the most part, and so I still think Jones will get plenty of touches. He won't score 19 touchdowns, but I still think he can get you in the range of 8 to 10, which is a pretty darn good year. And as my running back 2, feel pretty good about that.
Rank, it's to you now.
I'm going to go with Travis Kelce right here.
God,
So if I'm in the middle of the draft, if I'm at the end of the first round, it doesn't matter to me. I still got one of the top wide receivers. And to me, Kelce, Kittle, the top 2 tight ends. So these 2 teams are all set with what I would want to have coming out of one of these drafts.
Ooh, I like it. All right, so back to my first team. I got Michael Thomas in the first round because, he's a baller. But I think I want to grab a running back. I think I'm going to do a Joe Mixon. I'm really excited. As we saw, Andy Dalton was released from the Bengals. It's going to be Joe Burrow. If you saw what Joe Burrow did at LSU with his running backs, I think Joe Mixon's going to be a good fit. Good standout or breakout year, hopefully.
He's making noises about a potential holdout. We'll see.
I mean, who cares? He's going to play.
You
I'm
will
going to
if
call
he
him.
holds out.
I'm going to call him. I'm going to tweet
Ask
him
anybody
right
who
now.
drafted Melvin Gordon last year.
So for my team 1, Zeke was my first round pick, and I will take the freak with my second round pick. And if you don't know who that is, it's a guy named Tyreek Hill out of Kansas City. Love this pick. End of the second round, number 1 wide receiver on arguably the best offense in the NFL that's not in Dallas.
Love it. All right, so Fabs, you got Zeke and Tyreek. Florio, your first team. You had Saquon with your first pick. Who you got for your second?
I was gonna take Tyreek if he fell. I think that's a good value where he went, but I'll go Marcus's route, and I'll take another running back here. I'll go Leonard Fournette. I think he was a draft day winner. They didn't trade him. They didn't draft a running back, so he's once again gonna see that heavy workload that he got last year.
All right, Marcus, back to your first team. You had Christian McCaffrey as your first pick, which is kind of a dumb moment. Who do you have for your second?
This is a tough call right here. I am going to go with Nick Chubb at the end of the second round. And get my 2 running backs right there. So then starting the third round, I'm going to go Cooper Kupp right here because I think he's going to be a target magnet. Brandon Cooks isn't there as far as PPR goes. He's a target hog there in LA.
All right, Florio, back to you.
I'm also going to take a receiver here. I think some people may think it's a little bit of a reach. I think Rank will be a fan of this. I'm going to go with Allen Robinson of the Bears. I think it's him and Anthony Miller there competing for targets, and that's really it. And I think Nick Foles is an upgrade on Mitch Trubisky, and Allen Robinson was a top 10 guy last year.
What do you mean? You're not into Ted Ginn?
No.
No? All right, so let's see now. So I've got Zeke, and then I've got the freak. I'm going to go with Mike Evans. He's got Tom throwing him the football in an offense that's going to light up the scoreboard. So he's my wide receiver 2.
All right, for my third pick on my first team, I think I want to do Kenyon Drake as my RB2. I know, it's kind of wild, but I'm kind of wild.
I don't hate it.
I like it.
I really think the Cardinals are going to have a standout year, especially in fantasy football. All right, Rank.
I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs right here. Mike Mayock said that he wants him catching the football this season. He really is a good pass catcher. They didn't use him in that aspect last season. You look at the board, you're like, okay, nobody's going to take Josh Jacobs. I mean, I thought Florio, he's a little bit of a wild card, but I'm like, I'm going to take a risk, so I'm very ecstatic to get Josh Jacobs in this spot.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna keep rolling with the running backs here. Wide receiver is so deep that you can I can even wait till we come back around in the fourth round and still feel like I got a pretty decent guy because that's just sort of how the game rolls now.
I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go. Do you now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Miles Sanders.
I knew it.
He looks like he's locked in as the Eagles' #1 running back, a guy who can do it all, who can catch the football. And if I got Miles Sanders rolling in my flex spot, I feel pretty good about that.
That was going to be my pick, yeah. I agree, Marcus. I think running back, there's a fine number of elite workhorse backs now, and they're almost all gone. I'll take, I think, the last one I think could be in that class. I'll take Melvin Gordon of the Broncos. I know they have Freeman and Lindsey, but I think they went out and they paid Gordon for a reason. I think he'll be their lead back. And running back, the running back well is starting to get really dry right now.
So my friends, this is why you take running backs with your first 2 picks. Because wide receiver is plentiful. And in the third round, I'm taking Kenny G, folks. And if you remember, Galladay was tremendous. Yes, thank you.
I knew a horn was
last season when Stafford was under center, and then he had to play with some, David Blas and that kind of stuff, and he still put up decent numbers. Kenny G is the call for me. He's my wide receiver 1 on team 2.
I want to do Todd Gurley. He's going to ATL. I know he had a lot of injury concerns last year when he was with the Rams, and that's something that people are a little weary about. But I really think that he could have a breakout moment in Atlanta, and they did lose some of their other offensive weapons. So I think this could be a year for him. All right, Rank, you're on the clock.
I'm going to go bold. I'm going to go with Cortland Sutton right here. I think when Cortland Sutton played his best was when he had Emmanuel Sanders on the field with him. So I feel that having all this available talent around him with Jerry Jeudy and, of course, KJ Hamler, who is drafted as well. I know a lot of people are very excited about Jerry Jeudy. Count me as one of those, but I love Cortland Sutton. I think right here in the third round is a perfect opportunity to get him. And now we're looking at the running back position. We've already got our tight end. I have a fifth-round grade on this player, but I don't really want to take the risk because I'm worried about Florio. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Cam Akers here. I know they have Malcolm Brown, but I expect Cam Akers to get a ton of work here with McVay.
For my second team, 4th round guy, I'm going to steal a Cowboy from my friend Michael Fabiano and do Amari Cooper here.
Love it. It is interesting to see how he's falling, though. And that's not a surprise when you draft the top wide receiver in the class and he falls into your lap at number 17. And Cooper would have been in the mix for my next pick. But instead, let's go with DJ Moore, who is a targets machine. And I loved his game last season. I saw him as a potential breakout guy. And I think he'll be very reliable in 2020.
Florio, people are looking out for you. They say you're a sneaky guy. You're getting some picks. All right, for your second team, who's going to be your 4th rounder?
Yeah, I know people keep saying I'm the sneaky one, but I keep getting sniped. Like, I was going to go DJ Moore here, but with him gone, I'd normally wait on quarterback, but I'll be the first one to take it.
I knew you were going there.
I'll take Patrick Mahomes.
No.
He is my QB1 this year. I think, with the weapons around him, and now you give him Clyde, I mean, he's going to be an absolute beast.
I wasn't surprised that somebody was going to go quarterback in this round. I didn't think it would be Mahomes, though. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown because it is a target-rich environment there in Tennessee, but there aren't a whole lot of guys to absorb those targets, so it's a little bit of a risk making him my wide receiver 1, but I just think the upside is there. And again, who's going to take, like, Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith? Like, I'm not really worried about any of the pass catchers down there in Tennessee.
Rank back to your first team.
Now, if you look at this roster for Team 5, Chris Godwin was the fantasy darling of last season. A lot of people wanted to get Chris Godwin on their team. I'm going to get this year's version of the breakout of Chris Godwin, and I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley. And now that he's entering his 3rd season in the NFL, he's primed for a breakout. We're looking for him to take that step forward. And if he could get involved in the end zone as well, I think this is a huge opportunity, and especially in the 4th round.
For my 4th pick, I'm, again, really wanted to get a tight end, George Kittle or Travis Kelce, but I think I'm going to go crazy here, and I'm going to take Zach Ertz. All right, Fabs, back to your first team.
I'm going Lamar Jackson. Now I have Tyreek Hill, Lamar Jackson, Mike Evans, and Zeke. Giddy up. Championship.
Love it. All right, Florio.
I'm going to take Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju? Wow.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick last year, and it was a complete loss season. He got hurt. Big Ben got hurt. Their whole offense was hurt. Yeah. I think with Big Ben back, with him healthy, he can once again look like that wide receiver 1. I just wish they would go out and get a good backup quarterback.
So it's back to me. I got my back-to-back picks here. I actually was going to take Lamar sometime on this turn here, but obviously that's not an option. So what I'm going to do with my first pick is we're going to go to Buffalo, and we're going to get Stefon Diggs, who looks like he is going to be the number 1 guy there for Josh Allen. Oreo, this is your team, man. Like the Bills, I hope can figure out some way to make Josh Allen a little bit more accurate. I think Stefon Diggs is poised for a big season. So now with my other pick, Lamar being off the board has sort of changed my thoughts here.
Do it.
But you know what?
Dak. Go. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do Dak right now. This might be a little bit of a reach, but I'm going to take Tyler Boyd here.
Love it. Yeah, that's good.
I think he's the new number 1 there in Cincinnati. They've got Joe Burrow. They will probably be playing catch-up in a lot of games because their defense is still bad. So I like Tyler Boyd in this spot.
Florio, your first team, beginning of the 5th round. Who are you targeting?
So far, I have 2 running backs and 2 receivers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a flex. And again, I'm a believer that you need to get running backs early. I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor. I thought he was the top rookie running back coming into this class, and now I don't think Marlon Mack is going to be able to hold him off for long. I think Taylor, behind that O-line, is going to have a really, really good season.
It's a great pick.
A 50-50 snap share on a team where he doesn't play on 3rd downs. Florio, come on.
I had Jonathan Taylor next up because I need a running back on this team. I'm going to go with David Johnson. I get it. There's concerns about David Johnson's durability. In the first 6 games of last season, he averaged over 20 fantasy points per game. And who else are they going to give the ball to in Houston? I mean, really? So they should give him enough opportunities to be the guy. I weighed the risk and decided I will hope for the reward here.
I like DJ this year. I do. I like him. I like him a lot.
So with my 5th round pick, I want to do a receiver. This is a little crazy, but I want to do Devontae Parker with the Miami Dolphins. I think this is going to be a really, really good year for him. The Dolphins, they're going to be way more of a 2021 team, but I still like Devontae Parker. 5th round, wide receiver, still on board.
Not worried about Preston Williams, huh?
No. Are you?
Does she look worried?
I am not.
Absolutely not.
Apparently not.
I love it. Now, if you look at this team, I got Godwin, I got Calvin Ridley, I got one running back, Josh Jacobs, and of course the tight end, Travis Kelce. And you'd be like, Rank, you got to take that running back. See, this is the thing. You don't have to do anything like that because you still have a flex position and you want to make sure you're still drafting for a value. So even though I'm going to slot this guy into my flex spot in a PPR league, I am going to take Tyler Lockett. In the 5th round, don't get so worked up about like, I need this position or I need whatever. I know I could take a running back and force it, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to have Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett, my flex guy, again, master class.
All right, Marcus, your second team, 5th round pick. You're on the clock.
It's funny. Tyler Lockett goes off the board, so I feel like I'm going to just go right and scoop up his running mate, so to speak, and get DK Metcalf, who I think is going to have a big he was huge last year. I think he gets better this year, so I will take him. I think he starts pushing Lockett for targets there.
This is going to be fun because we're going to have a Seahawks run. I'm going to take, we have both of their receivers going off the board. I'll take their running back and Chris Carson. I know he has that hip injury that we're a little bit afraid of, but when he's been healthy the last couple of years, he has just been an RB1, and they feel comfortable in his health going into 2020.
Okay, Fabs, you have to take Will Dissly now to keep this thing going.
You know, that's not going to happen. But this would have never been possible last season. Odell Beckham Jr. is my wide receiver 3.
Wow.
3! This is where we're at with OBJ. I mean, this guy was a first-round pick. I like the pick.
Now it's my second team, 5th round. I'm getting very nervous because 2 of the top quarterbacks are off the board. So I'm just going to pick up a quarterback, and I have all the faith in Kyler Murray this year. He's going to be my quarterback for my second team.
You have the Murray and Hopkins connection. That's fun.
I know.
Yeah, she's got the stack rocking right there.
Would have been better off with the Dak Cooper connection.
No.
You know what? If I see all those quarterbacks starting to come off the board, I'm like, I'm going to take No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go with Keenan Allen, who I understand his quarterback situation is a little bit murkier now that Phillip Rivers is not there. But like he's still going to be the most targeted guy in this offense. And again, coming off in the 5th round, and even though I've got a team that has already got a couple of wide receivers, I don't mind taking a play there. I'm super happy with that. So I'm just going to take a value pick right here. I'm going to go with Deebo Samuel, hoping that he's going to break out a little bit for the San Francisco 49ers. I think he's good for this offense. They're going to find creative ways to put the ball into his hand, and I know that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be able to grow a little bit more. They're still going to be very run heavy. But I'm really fortunate, I feel, to get him right here in this spot.
All right, so we are in the 6th round now. This time last year, I would have taken Mark Ingram, but I don't think he won in this year's draft with the Ravens and their picks. So you know what? I'm going to do a rookie. I'm going to do DeAndre Swift out of the Lions. Wow. All right, Fabs, your second team.
Right, so again, just to recap the first 5 picks, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Kenny G, DJ Moore, OBJ. So I'm going to wait on – there's quarterback and tight end. I'm going to wait on those positions. I'm going to go with Le'Veon Bell as my running back 3. As my running back 3.
Yeah,
3.
I'm like looking around. I'm like, nobody's going to – huh?
You all are sleeping. I was got Le'Veon Bell as my 3rd running back.
I'm up now with my second team. And I'm going to take a very, very boring pick, but I think he's a good value. I'll take Adam Thielen. No Stefon Diggs there anymore. I don't think Jefferson is going to see the target share that Diggs did. And then you got the tight ends to worry about, but I'll take that boring production out of him.
So I'm looking around here, and with my second team, I started with 3 running backs going Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders. I backed that up with A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. So I got a couple of second-year wide receivers who, I think have some boom-bust potential. I'm going to try to put together a little bit of a stack here because I've got DK Metcalf, so why not get the guy who's slinging him the rock? And we're going to take Russell Wilson here in this spot. Get a guy who can run with the football, who's effective throwing it, and like I said, if DK Metcalf has the blow-up season, then I feel really, really good about it.
I'm looking at the running backs on the board. Still not really enthralled with them, so I'm going to take a chance and go with DJ Chark right here. They got Gardner Minshew coming back into his 2nd season. Gardner kind of helped make him a thing. And this is one of the joys of having the tight end position already covered with Travis Kelce. I don't have to worry about when do I go for a tight end because I've got that covered with one of the best in the game.
So Fabs kind of hinted to this earlier, and I gave him a little bit of crap. I'm going to do Dak Prescott.
That's a good one. Love it. Hey, man, there was only one quarterback in the league better than him in fantasy last season, and his name was Lamar Jackson. People forget that. At this point, it's sort of a scenario where I'm going to go best player available. Marcus, you can make this pick because you know what it is.
Oh, Bobby Trees, huh?
Yes. What's the old saying? You see the forest through the trees, and Bobby Woods was still there somehow. So now he's on my first team.
Florio, first team, 6th round.
So I'll take a tight end here. I'll go with Mark Andrews. I don't have a tight end. I think he will still be the top target for Lamar Jackson. So I'll get the tight end position taken care of here.
That's smart. And tight ends last year in fantasy were absolute wasteland. I mean, it was pretty abysmal. You had your top guys, and then people were just falling off. So that's a good pick. All right, Marcus, your first team, 6th round. You're going to do this one, and then it snakes back to you. You get your first pick in the 7th. What are you feeling?
I've got 3 wide receivers that I feel really good about, and so this allows me to sort of, I won't say take a risk, but maybe take a guy that I would generally have questions about. So at the end of the 6th round, I'm going to take T.Y. Hilton.
I knew it. Love it.
Look, if he stays healthy and Phillip Rivers is right, certainly a fringe wide receiver 1 potentially. And if it doesn't work out, look, I got 3 other guys that I feel pretty comfortable with. So I'll do that there. And so then that takes me back around to the start of round 7. We're going to take our 3rd running back here, and I'm going to get back on the David Montgomery train and feel like there's going to be some better opportunity and hopefully better quarterback play there helps him out a little bit, but there's really nobody else that I'm worried about taking those running back snaps and touches. So again, as my 3rd running back, I'm cool with David Montgomery there.
All right, love it. Florio, back to you. He's swiping. You get a swipe.
Well, this team, my receivers, I like Allen Robinson and Juju, but they're a little bit shaky, so I'm just going to add to that, high risk, high reward type play. I'm going to go with AJ Green here. Basically redshirted last season, but hopefully he's healthy, and now he has a much improved offense and I think a much better quarterback in Joe Burrow. So I'm excited for the upside of AJ Green there.
All right, love it. Fabs, to you.
All right, so Team 1, Zeke, the Freak, Evans, Lamar, David Johnson, Robert Woods. So, again, I'm in a position where I'm either going best player available or I'm going to fill a need. And at this point, I'm going to go with Devin Singletary. And I get it. Zach Moss is going to potentially take some of those goal line opportunities, and his touchdown ceiling is not particularly kind, but Singletary is my guy, and he's going to be my number 3 running back. I like that.
It's to me, my first team. I want to get another running back just because I'm not feeling great about who I have, and it's always good to have a backup. So I think I want to do someone from Marcus's San Francisco 49ers and get Raheem Mostert.
It's not a bad pick.
Wonderful pick.
All right, rank. 7th round.
I was actually looking at Raheem Mostert in this spot because the team that's drafting right now has only Josh Jacobs, and that's fine. But I don't want to just take a running back because I need to take a running back. I'm looking at my board right now, and this is a PPR league, and there's a good possibility that Jarvis Landry ends up as the top receiver for the Cleveland Browns. So here in the 7th round, I feel very comfortable going with Jarvis Landry.
Marcus's 2nd team. Who are you feeling now?
Part of me wants a tight end, but I feel like any of the tight ends that are on the board right now are a little bit of a reach in this spot. In that case, I'm going to take Christian Kirk right here. I was a big Christian Kirk stan last year, and it didn't work the way I wanted it to. But, look, man, I've already got A.J. Brown. I've got DK Metcalf. I have some boom or bust receivers here. Like, it could either go really great or it could go horribly wrong. But I'm going to go Christian Kirk.
Florio, 2nd team.
Yeah, I already have 3 running backs here in Cook, Gordon, and Chris Carson, but I don't feel great about Carson or Gordon. I think there's a little volatility there, and I think there's going to be a running back run. So I'm actually going to take my 4th running back here. I'm going to take Keyshawn Vaughn, rookie with the Bucks. I think he has a lot of upside to be that 3-down back for the Bucks this year. I do not think they like Ronald Jones.
Good
All right,
sleeper there.
Keyshawn Vaughn, round 7, Fabs, your 2nd team.
So, again, 3 runners, 3 wideouts. I don't feel like I need to fill a starting lineup need right now. What I do feel like I need to do is take Scary Terry McLaurin as my 4th wide receiver. Listen, I'm not sold on Dwayne Haskins, but hopefully he's going to be looking to his former college teammate and now pro teammate more often than not. So in the 7th round as my 4th wide receiver, that's an embarrassment of riches.
All right, my second team, Team 9. I don't have a tight end, and I feel like I want to grab Mr. Hunter Henry right here at this position. Feel good about it. Like we said, last year was a tight end wasteland, and I want to stack my team. Now, Rank, you have the next pick for your second team. Reminder, this is the end of the 7th round, and then it'll snake back to you, and you'll have the first pick of the 8th.
So an opportunity to double up right here. And again, there is a need for a running back. I feel comfortable right here in firing in with Mark Ingram, even though J.K. Dobbins was drafted in the 2nd round. Mark Ingram is still going to run the ball plenty for this team. And I'm going to go with a rookie wide receiver right here. In this round, I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson, who was the 1st round pick of the Minnesota Vikings. And you look at the way this team is set up. They traded away Stefon Diggs. I thought he was going to go to the Eagles, and I would have made this pick there too, but I think Minnesota just is desirable for him, so I'm going to go Justin Jefferson right there.
All right, I love it. My second team, 8th round pick. I kind of want to do another running back. Just I know it's kind of tricky out here. A lot of the best guys were taken early, but I want to do Kareem Hunt with the Browns for my 8th round pick. Fabs, off to you, your second team.
Yeah, so I'm going to end up going with a need here. And since you took Hunter Henry, who I was hoping to get, I will take Darren the Baller Waller out of the Las Vegas Raiders. And in the 8th round, Waller as my tight end 1 should be a nice fit.
I still only have 2 wide receivers on this team, so I need to start loading up there.
Don't draft any. It's fine. You're good. Just don't worry about it.
Just go with these 2 the rest of the year. I'm going to take a guy who last year was very, very disappointing, but was very reliable for years before that. I'm going to take Brandon Cooks. I think he has a chance to go in there and be Deshaun Watson's number 1 wide receiver. So I think there'll be better numbers this year than last for Brandon Cooks.
All right, we'll cross our fingers for you. Marcus, your second team, 8th round pick.
This maybe falls under the whole, get your guy thing. I'm going to take Hayden Hurst right here, who walks into a big role there in Atlanta. Hayden Hurst, I think, physically, athletically, is just as good as Austin Hooper, and hopefully he stays healthy.
Not that you care what I think, but I like that pick right there. You've inspired me, though. I was feeling like I was going to go, non-spicy, just give me the dry rub. I'm going to go spicy as well. I'm going to go Jalen Reagor, kind of a younger version of Deshaun Jackson, and I think there's a huge opportunity for him, and if Carson Wentz can stay healthy, there's an opportunity for him to make a huge impact as a rookie.
I think I'm going to stay with the spice here for my first team, 8th round pick. And I'm going to get a rookie wide receiver. I'm going to do Jerry Jeudy out of the Broncos. I know that he's going to have to split time with Courtland Sutton, but I really think he needed this offensive weapon. So I have a good feeling getting Jerry Jeudy as a wide receiver in the 8th round. Fabs, you are next on the clock. What you thinking?
All right, so I'm going to go with the old man. He's not that old. Julian Edelman. It sucks that his best buddy is down in Tampa, and he's going to be stuck in New England with the Tank for Trevor team. But somebody's got to catch the damn ball in New England, right?
All right. Florio, what you thinking? 8th round pick.
Yeah, I'm normally a wait on QB guy again, but I think that this guy has fallen further than he should. I like the mobile quarterbacks. I think they kind of separate themselves. So I'll take Deshaun Watson. I know he lost Hopkins, but he does have Cooks and Fuller, and I think he's going to run more this year, too, than he has in the past. So I'll take Watson. I think he's being slept on a little bit this season.
All right, our quarterback's going early. Marcus, are you going to take a quarterback for your first team now?
Maybe. I'm going to take Michael Gallup here in the 8th round. I know everybody's worried because the Cowboys obviously went out and got CeeDee Lamb, and they got a lot of targets here, but I still like Michael Gallup. I still think he's a big play guy who gets some work. So I'll have him as another wide receiver to sort of help out. And now in the 9th round, I'm going to go get a quarterback who is mobile. I'm going to complete my stack, and I'm going to get the Bills' best goal line back and take Josh Allen here in the 9th round.
Marcus, I know you had 4 wide receivers. I did not think you were going to take Gallup. With him off the board, though, there's been a lot of receivers going. I only have 3 running backs here.
Florio, there's a guy on the board right now that if you don't draft him, I'm going to lose faith in you.
I'm gonna take a running back here. I'm gonna take James Conner.
Yes,
I know last
exactly.
year. Is that him?
It's
okay,
a
good.
9th round. Of course it's James Conner.
Yeah,
Yes!
I don't think he should still be here. He got hurt last year, obviously, but when he was healthy, he was still an RB1. So, yeah, in the 9th round, he has that injury risk baked into his price.
So I'm up, and I'm kind of done with the best player available at this point. I'm going to fill a need here, and I'm going to go with Tyler Higbee. I know that's going to give me 2 Rams pass catchers, but Higbee was too good last season for McVay to ignore him in 2020. He's my tight end 1 in the 9th round.
Okay, now I have my 9th round pick for my first team, and this is going to be a little wild. I already have Michael Thomas, who I got as my first pick, but I'm going to do Emmanuel Sanders here in the 9th round. Obviously, Michael Thomas will still be Drew Brees' number 1 guy, but I really think they're going to switch it up. So either way, I'm safe. If Emmanuel Sanders in some crazy world usurps
Wow.
Michael Thomas for some crazy thing, I'll have him on my roster. So I'm going to do Emmanuel Sanders in the 9th rank. Your first team, 9th round pick. What you feeling?
I think I'm going to do something crazy as well. And crazy for me is drafting a running back. The player that I'm going to select in this spot is going to be Matt Breida. Really, he's a fantastic runner. The only thing that worries me is that he has 6 career touchdowns. He could work on that a little bit. And, of course, Jordan Howard could usurp him near the goal line, but I feel confident in this spot right here. I feel like he'll have enough receptions, and I feel like this is going to be one of the best values, and this is why I wait on these running backs.
All right, Matt Breida's off the board. Marcus, your second team. You got Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson, Christian Kirk, Hayden Hurst. Your 9th round pick. What are you feeling?
Yeah, this is, at this point, I'm going to start kind of drafting for upside because I've got my starting lineup pretty much filled out, and I'm pretty happy with it for the most part. So I still like J.K. Dobbins in this spot to think that, on a very run-heavy team, like I said, kind of drafting for upside here. If something were to happen to Mark Ingram, Dobbins walks into even more opportunity.
All right, Florio, you're up next. 9th round pick, your second team. You already have Cook, Julio, Melvin Gordon, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Carson, Adam Thielen, Keyshawn Vaughn, Brandon Cooks. What you feeling?
This is a little bit of a weird strategy, but because I don't love Cooks as my wide receiver 3, I am just going to go and kind of double down there. I'm going to take Will Fuller here. Either way, I think I will have the Texans' number 1 wide receiver. It's just a matter of which week one of these guys is going to be healthy. So, yeah, I'm just handcuffing Texans receivers here.
Okay. All right, Fabs, you're next.
Yeah, and so there's any number of ways I can go here. I'm going to go with the old man. You guys going to guess who that is? Drew Brees. I'm going to go with Drew Brees.
Tampa Brady?
No, I'm going Brees. Yeah, and this might be his final season. This could be his last hurrah in New Orleans. We'll see. But great weapons, was the best quarterback in fantasy football during the fantasy playoffs last season. And I don't feel like, he's going to have to worry too much with Jameis Winston breathing down his throat and his 30 picks. So Brees is in a good spot. 9th round pick. That's where I'll go with my QB1.
All right, Drew Brees, my guy from the New Orleans Saints. All right, it's my second team, 9th round pick. I have Clyde Edwards, D-Hop, Todd Gurley, Amari Cooper, Kyler, Swift, Hunter, Henry, Kareem Hunt. I think I want to get Jamison Crowder as a wide receiver on the Jets. I know it's a little weird, but I'm feeling it. There's a void on my team. Rank, you're up next. What you feeling?
Oh, thank you so much. I will take with one of my picks, even though I already have a rookie wideout here, I'm going to go in with CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to take him off the Dallas Cowboys. I know that Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup are there, but with the loss of Jason Witten and Randall Cobb, there are 166 targets left over to go to somebody, and obviously they're not going to all go to CeeDee Lamb, but I'm going to take him there.
Beginning of the 10th round. It's all you, Ryan.
Man, I'm going to take a stab in the dark here. I'm going to go with Mecole Hardman. I just want to start now looking at some of these top offenses. Hopefully, that he starts to grow into a little bit of a bigger role here. There were some things going on, but I'm going to go with Mecole Hardman here just based on the upside.
Okay, I love it. More Kansas City Chiefs. I am going to do a guy who last year I heard Fabs sing his name all the time by Carry On My Wayward Son, Kerryon Johnson, another running back on my team.
And not sing very well either.
Oh, well, you sort of handcuffed him to DeAndre Swift there, so that's not a bad move at all.
I'm going to go with James White here. He's going to catch 50 passes in this offense. Again, somebody's got to catch the ball, and James White is my 4th running back on this team. So I like the value in the 10th round.
All right, all for value. Florio, 10th round. This is your second team.
Yeah, because I view those last two guys as kind of one wide receiver, I'm going to take another wideout. I'm going to take Marvin Jones of the Lions. Stafford last year kind of changed the way he played. He was throwing down the field way more than he ever has. So I'm hoping that continues this year. And I think the Lions are kind of in a win now mode, or they're going to blow that up. So I like Marvin Jones could be he was like a wide receiver 3 when Stafford was healthy. So that's kind of what I'm expecting.
All right.
I like that pick, man. I think that's a good pick here.
Marcus, you're up next.
Yeah, so looking at this team here, the brand of it seems to be younger players, wide receivers with some potential upside that maybe haven't completely hit their ceilings yet. We're going to take Michael Pittman here in this spot as a wide receiver. Yeah, and I know it rankles, it burns Adam Rank, so that makes me feel like I did a good thing here. So I'm taking Michael Pittman in that spot.
Michael Pittman I love because it's kind of a Vincent Jackson type of player. I'm going to talk about my pick. I'm going to take a running back here who is in a timeshare committee, but I'm going to go with Phillip Lindsey because it seems like every time, every season, we try to make Phillip Lindsey take a backseat to whomever the running back is there, whether it's Royce Freeman or now it's Melvin Gordon. If he ends up being the Austin Eckler to Melvin Gordon's Melvin Gordon, I'm very excited about getting him in this spot. I would have taken him with Team 10, and I feel, again, like I gotta pat myself on the shoulder once again. Just keep...
I kind of wanted to do another Saints pick, but I think it's silly to keep going with the New Orleans Saints. So I'm going to do Robbie Anderson, who has joined the Carolina Panthers as another wide receiver that I'm going to target. I guess I just want to hang on to the New Orleans Saints. Fabs, you are next. 10th round. You already have Zeke, the Freak Tyreek, Mike Evans, Lamar Jackson, David Johnson, Robert Woods, Devin Singletary, Julian Edelman, and Tyler Higbee.
See, this is weird because typically you're only drafting one team, and I'm drafting two, and I find myself suddenly taking a lot of Patriots. So I'm going to go with Sony Michel here, and Sony Michel's end up being depth basically on this team. I know Sony Michel gives you very little in the passing game, but he could end up very well leading that team in carries in 2020. So at this point in the 10th round, I like him for depth.
All right, Florio, your first team is up.
Yeah, I feel with this team, wide receiver is definitely my weakness, so I'm going to take one. Kimmi, you just took Robbie Anderson. I'm going to take his New York Jet replacement. I'm going to take Brashad Perriman. I think the Jets, improved O-line. Hopefully Sam Darnold doesn't get mono or anything like that this year. And Perriman really came on strong at the end.
All right, Marcus, back to you. Again, this is the end of the 10th, so you can go back to back. You'll have the end of the 10th and then the first pick of the 11th. What do you think you want to do?
Look, I'm pretty good at running back here, but I'm going to add one more because I feel like the disrespect for this guy has gone on too far, and that's Jordan Howard, who I think is still a good running back. I think his only crime is that he was born with skillets for hands, which, okay, so he doesn't catch the ball. That's fine. He does lots of other things really well. And then round 11, I was interested, amused, encouraged about Florio saying he took Robbie Anderson's New York Jet replacement, but he didn't take Denzel Mims. So I'm going to take Denzel Mims and think that he's going to be the guy that turns into Sam Darnold's favorite target right now.
Okay. Let's see. Florio, back to you. Your first team, 11th round pick.
I'm going to stay in the AFC East, actually, and I'm going to take a receiver, Marcus, that you mentioned at the very early part of the draft. I'm going to take Preston Williams. I think people forget how good Williams was the first half of the year. Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki became a thing only after Preston Williams got hurt. So I think in the 11th round, maybe a little bit of a reach, but I think there's upside there.
All right, reach but some upsides. Fabs, 11th round pick.
So a lot of the best options right now are at one position, and I don't necessarily need to fill that position, but it never hurts to have depth. So I'm going to go with Austin Hooper. I already have Tyler Higbee on this team. I don't mind having the depth at the tight end position, especially if Higbee flops. So as my tight end 2, Hooper's the pick here.
Okay. I love it. Now I'm going to, on my first team, get someone from Adam Rank's favorite team, the Chicago Bears.
Stop it, you.
Bear down, Chicago Bears.
You're going to go Nick Foles here? Well done.
No. I'm gonna do Tyreek Cohen. No Nick Foles, but I feel good with getting Tyreek Cohen in the 11th round. But Rank, you are up next.
Not bad. You know what? Since you've taken a Chicago Bear, then I feel like I should only follow suit. I'm gonna go with Anthony Miller in this spot. Again, I anticipate Nick Foles being the top quarterback in this derby. It's not even Rogue One yet. We haven't even fired our first shot. So hopefully, we can finally see what this offense can do. And I believe that Anthony Miller will be one of the benefactors of that.
All right, Marcus, your second team, 11th round pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a shot here. I'm gonna keep the rookie theme going on this roster, and I'm gonna take a shot at Henry Ruggs. And see what he can do with the Raiders. They drafted him early for a reason. I think they want to get him going in this offense quickly.
All right, really quick. Florio, who are you taking as your 11th round pick for your second team?
I do not have a tight end here yet, so I will take the last of my top 10 tight ends still available. I will take Evan Ingram and just hope he can stay healthy.
Okay.
I know, right? That's exactly it. Every analyst who does a mock draft on radio or podcast or television will say, I'm going to draft Evan Ingram and hope he stays healthy.
Fabs, who's your 11th round pick for your second team here?
I'm gonna go Hollywood here. I'm gonna go with Marquis Brown, who showed some flashes last year, wasn't very consistent, still the number one option, and hopefully he could take another step sort of towards being a more reliable and consistent fantasy player in year two.
All right, I'm going to grab Tevin Coleman from the 49ers as another running back here. I think the 49ers are going to have another dynamic season. Adam Rank, he has his second team with the 11th round, and then he will start the 12th round.
With this selection right here, I'm going to go with Darius Slaton of the New York Giants. They've got a new offensive coordinator with Jason Garrett. Slaton was the second most targeted player on this team last season, and as Danny Dimes really grows in his second year, I think that this could be a pretty good pick. And since I already have Cam Akers on this team, I will back him up a little bit with Darrell Henderson, just to have some insurance there if Cam Akers, for whatever reason, does not win that job as anticipated and Darrell Henderson actually takes a step forward. He was a third-round pick last year, so now I feel even better about that Cam Akers pick, which already I thought was fantastic.
All right, now it is back to me. It is my second team. We are in the beginning of the 12th round, and I'm going to get wide receiver Kenny Stills with the Houston Texans, obviously with some loss there for the Texans offense. I think he's going to see a much larger role this next season and could be a good streaming wide receiver. Fabs, your second team, 12th round pick.
My guy's still on the board, and I have to end his suffering, Darius Geis. The Redskins have 634 running backs on their roster, I think, right now. But and one guy who might play running back and wide receiver. But I still feel like Darius has got the most upside.
All right, Florio, you're up next. Your second team.
I took Evan Ingram last time and said I hope he doesn't get hurt, so I will double down at the tight end position, and I'll take another very injury-prone tight end and hope he doesn't get hurt. I'll take Rob Gronkowski.
All right, Rob Gronkowski is back with his best friend, Tom Brady, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, Marcus, your second team, 12th round pick.
I am not convinced that Ronald Jones just goes quietly into that good night. And at this point in the 12th round, as a guy well down on my roster, I will take the shot at Rojo and see if he can't maybe fight for some touches.
Rank, you are up next. 12th round, this is your first team.
I'm going to go with Rashad Penny in this spot right here. We've seen some videos of him doing his rehabilitation, coming back from an ACL injury that he suffered last year in Week 16. Listen, no rush. Don't rush back on our account. We've got plenty of talent here on this team, so just take your time and come back fully healthy.
I am going to get Noah Fant out of the Denver Broncos. Now, Zach Ertz, I know I have him already as the tight end that I picked up in the 4th round, but as we saw last year, tight ends are crazy. So Noah Fant is my second tight end on my first team. Next up, Fabs, we have you in the 12th.
The best wide receiver on the board right now to me is John Brown. So I will take him as my 5th wide receiver. And we all know that the target share is likely going to decrease with Stefon Diggs in the mix there too. But I mean, John Brown's already got the rapport with Josh Allen. He's a burner as well. So I'll take him as my wide receiver 5 and be pretty happy about it.
All right, Florio, you are up next. Your first team, 12th round pick.
Since I learned a lesson with that second team I had where I missed out on handcuffing Ronald Jones, so I will handcuff my rookie running back here. I'll take Marlon Mack to go with Jonathan Taylor and feel confident having the primary back, no matter who it be from the Colts.
Okay. Marcus, back to you. You have the last pick of the 12th round and the first pick of the 13th.
Yeah, I got to get a tight end here. So I'm going to take a guy that I like as a sleeper who has plenty of upside. And I'm going to take Mike Gesicki in this spot to be my tight end and fill that out. So that is how we will end round 12. And then in round 13, this will be the last position player I pick because we got to get a kicker and a defense. So I know what I'm doing in 14 and 15. So here, I'm throwing the dart at some upside. Look, you can call him Joe Exotic. You can call him the Tiger King. I don't care. But give me Joe Burrow, as a potential sleeper and a guy that maybe I can stack with Tyler Boyd if things work out.
Florio, beginning of the 13th round. What are you thinking you have a void at on your roster?
Same as Marcus, this is gonna be my last position player because the last 2 rounds are going to be a kicker and a defense. I'm going to take another wide receiver here. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson. I think he really came on strong down the stretch last year for the Steelers, and with Big Ben back, that can only help.
Okay, Fab.
How did you hear of him?
Of Big Ben?
No, Deontay Johnson. Stop looking at my board. That is an off-brand Florio pick. Stop it.
Fabs, what are you feeling for the 13th?
So I need to take another running back, and I'm going to take Zach Moss. I already have Devin Singletary on this team, so I'll have the Buffalo backfield.
All right, speaking of, I have the next pick on my first team. I'm going to do, again, another Dallas Cowboy, someone Fabs may like. It's Tony Pollard out of the Cowboys. Rank 13th.
I love it. I'm going to go with the Raiders' best receiver, Hunter Renfrow. He is one of the best. And as a matter of fact, he led the NFL in expected catch rate last year. Derek Carr had a passer rating of 108 when he was targeting Hunter Renfrow last year, so I expect him to have a huge leap this year with Henry Ruggs there. So I love getting him in this spot.
Okay. Let's see. You just took Renfrow. Marcus, your second team, 13th pick.
Yeah, well, apparently it's handcuff season right now, so I might as well make sure I protect my number one, my first round draft pick, which means I'm going to take Latavius Murray to kind of handcuff with Alvin Kamara up there.
Florio, your second team, 13th pick.
Yeah, I've ignored the running back position for a long time with this team, so I'm going to take an upside shot. I'm going to take Josh Kelly, the Chargers rookie running back. I think they're going to manage their backs like the Saints will, like Eckler getting some carries and a lot of passing down work, kind of relieve the stress, so I think Josh Kelly will be that guy.
All right, Josh Kelly for you. Fabs, your second team, 13th pick.
So I'm not going to go with a quarterback here. Instead, I'm going to go with my number 2 tight end, who will be Jared Cook. And Cook was one of the best tight ends in fantasy down the stretch last season. I have Drew Brees on this roster, so I'm going to leave the quarterbacks on the board because there's going to be a lot of good ones on the waiver wire, and this is why you just leave that position until later in your draft.
Okay. Now, it is my second team, 13-round pick. I think I want to get another tight end. I'm going to go another Iowa guy. I'm going to do TJ Hawkinson. Now, he was really good last season, the first few weeks, and then he kind of fell off, but I do have some faith in the Lions. Adam Rank, you get 2 picks in a row, and I'm not going to cut you off.
I will take the New England Patriots quarterback Aaron Rodgers right here and go in that. What, is he not going to get released or what's going to happen? So it's either going to be an amazing pick right there or it's going to be a disaster.
Wait a minute. I have been in quarantine for like a month and a half, but did you just take Aaron Rodgers?
Yes. And so at the other pick too, I'm going to,
wow.
You know what? I like to pick up my kickers and defense on the waiver wire. I don't think that it's something that you got to go out and you got to draft. So I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to take a stab at Duke Johnson right here. I don't know why the people continue to want to say, like, continue to ignore him or to pretend like he's not a 3-down back or he can't play well. This guy can do it all. And at some point, some team eventually give Duke Johnson the opportunity to go out and do what he can do and then let him roll.
All right, now it is the 14th round. We are taking defenses and kickers, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up a defense. I'm going to get the San Francisco 49ers. All right, Fabs, you are on the clock for your 14th round pick.
Yeah, so I guess I have to take a defense too, huh? Not a big fan of having to take a defense, but I'll take the Patriots. They were the best one in the league. They did get better in the draft, right? I mean, they focused on that side of the football. And again, I mean, their defense is going to win them games this season. It has to, or they're not going to win any games. So I'll go with New England.
Florio, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm going to take a defense that was amazing last year and got even better in the draft. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. They just know what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. And when you have Lamar Jackson, you control the clock that much of the game. I mean, it's just even harder for teams to score against you.
Marcus?
Wow. I really thought for sure that Florio was going to take his beloved Bills defense. Right? Yeah. So I'm going to take the Bills defense because their offense gets a little bit better. Plus, they don't have to face Tom Brady twice a year, which certainly helps out.
Rank, first team, 14th round pick.
I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield. In this spot, I talked a little bit earlier about all the moves that they made to improve their team, especially on the offensive line. Baker Mayfield this season is going to have the season that everybody wanted him to have last year.
14th round. It is off to me. I need to get another defense for my first team, and I'm a homer, so I'm going to get the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Last year, we were at the beginning of the season, people were dogging on them, but then the Chiefs defense went out and helped them win a Super Bowl. They got Honey Badger. They had another good draft, so I'm all in on the Chiefs defense. Fabs, you are up next.
Boy, I tell you, this is where people are tuning out. I'll go with the Steelers defense. Giddy up. There you go.
All
How
right.
about that?
Giddy up. Florio, defense for you, or are you going to do a kicker in the 14?
I will take a defense. I'll take the Vikings. They're a solid defense, and I'm not really scared of any of the offenses in their division.
Marcus, on to you. Get 2 picks in a row to complete your first team.
Yeah, I will finish out team 1. I'm going to take a shot at the Buccaneers. They were tough against the run last season. So I'm going to say that with Tom Brady there being more efficient, that the defense gets a little more chance to rest, and maybe they aren't as beleaguered as they were last year. So I'm going to take the Bucs as my defense. So then I will just round this out by taking a kicker. So why not get a guy who is good at his job and also can moonlight as an opera singer if he chooses to? I'm going to take Justin Tucker.
All right, Justin Tucker. Florio, what kicker is going to complete your squad?
I mean, I'm going to take a kicker on a team that's probably going to lead the league in scoring. I'll take Harrison Butker.
Jeez.
Sorry, Kimmy.
I know, it's okay. I feel like he was going to go early, but it's all right. I got something up my sleeve. Fabs, you're up next. Who's your kicker?
You know who I'm taking.
Greg.
Come on.
Greg.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, taking the leg.
Taking the leg. I'm going to follow Fab's suit and take the kicker for a team I root for. I'm going to do Will Lutz out of New Orleans. Rank, you're up next.
I will not be taking a kicker, so I'll just take the Bears defense. Akeem Hicks, ready to go. I think Bobby Quinn comes in and gives them a pass rushing force that they didn't have with Leonard Floyd, so I feel like the Bears defense will be back.
Marcus, what you feeling?
I thought about taking Robbie Gould in this spot. I'm still going to take Robbie Gould in this spot and take the 49ers kicker there.
Florio, your second team needs a kicker. Who's it going to be?
I'll take Jake Elliott because he's got job security and a solid offense, and that's really all you can ask for in a kicker.
Fab's second team.
These kickers are just driving me out of my mind. I'm going to go with Matt Gay. How about that?
No, I wanted him.
All right, you want him? I'll take somebody else. You want?
Yeah, I want him.
All right, I'll take Young Hoku.
Okay, cool.
I've never heard bargaining for a kicker before.
Whatever.
So obviously I'm going to take...
You better take him.
I don't watch
Pick
that.
somebody else. That'd be amazing.
Pass on him.
No, I'm gonna take Matt Gay. Speaking of someone who's going to have a deadly offense and need to score some field goals, I'm all in on him. Rank, you are the last pick for your second team of this draft.
Both teams are boycotting the kicker position, and we're going to go with the Saints defense right here.
All right, Saints defense right here, and our draft is complete. How you guys feeling?
Good.
Like it was a mock draft, but pretty good about it.
Before you guys go, really quick, I want to go around the horn. I want to start with Florio. Which of your 2 teams is your favorite, and what's the favorite pick that you got on that squad?
I like team better because I got running backs there, and I like getting Jonathan Taylor in round 5. I think he by the end of the year, it may start off a little bit slow, but I think he's going to come on really strong and potentially be a league winner down the stretch.
All right, Marcus, on to you next. Favorite squad that you drafted and favorite player on that team?
Yeah, I think I like Team 1 a little bit better just because I feel a little more confident in my wide receivers that I can get consistent production out of them. I still think my favorite pick in this group is Mike Gesicki because I just have really high hopes for them this year because we're all thirsty for quality tight ends.
Okay, Rank, you're up next.
Trying to pick between these two teams is kind of like picking between my two kids, which is different. I'm just kidding. I always pick my daughter. So similarly, I will go with my Team 1, the team that had Chris Godwin. I love that. I love Kelsey. Both of these teams, I was able to hit my strategy of a top wide receiver and a top tight end. But I will say this about my second team. I did get Devontae Adams and I did get Aaron Rodgers. And if the Packers come out motivated and they're upset because they didn't draft a wide receiver or anything like that, that team could actually be the best one of this whole draft.
All right, Fabs, finishing it off with you. Favorite team, favorite person on the team?
Both teams are stacked. I would say the first team that I drafted is probably better because I have Zeke, Tyreek, Mike Evans, and Lamar Jackson. And that's bananas. And that team has a lot of depth. And if David Johnson can be what he is projected to be in Houston, which is a true featured back, he could be one hell of an RB2.
All right, and then on to mine. I know that I did a lot of YOLO picks for my second team, but it's a mock draft, and it's me, and I'm always YOLOing it with my life. So I really do kind of like my second team. I know getting Clyde Edwards in the first round was a little bit spicy, but he's my favorite pick. I think him joining the dynamic Kansas City Chiefs offense is really going to make for fun football and hopefully good football for me as a fantasy owner. But again, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm Kimmi Chex here, joined with Michael Florio, our favorite NFL fantasy researcher. We have Marcas Grant, Adam Rank, and Michael Fabiano. This was our first of many mock drafts looking ahead for the 2020 fantasy season. For all of your fantasy needs, follow us at NFL Fantasy. And if you like what we're dishing out, please like and subscribe below. See you next time, guys.